Okay.
Yes.
So I was telling you a story about a really great video. I now hope I can actually play that, so let's see. Can we have sound? There we go. Thank you.
Let's go back to the morning of March. Absolutely no evidence of that.
Thank you. So, as we all know, the media landscape and the media industry is undergoing an enormous change at the moment. And at Avid, what we wanted to do was reimagine how the industry of storytelling would work and what we could do as a company to try and solve the bigger business problem, which was really all about how do we move beyond an industry of individual products, of silos, and of disconnected workflows towards an industry where everybody, regardless of the role in the community, can contribute and collaborate together, whether you're an individual artist, a journalist, a musician, a teacher, whether you're part of a creative team in a film academy or a music studio or a post-production company, or whether you're one of the biggest media enterprises in the world, an Al Jazeera, a Disney, a BBC. Everybody has their role to play, and we simply wanted to try and solve the problem of how do we connect those people together. So, if we just think for a moment, what's the media industry really all about? Well, when you strip it down, it's really quite simple. It's about connecting people. One person wants to tell the story for the education, the pleasure, enjoyment of somebody else. But technology hasn't always made that connection easy. And Avid is a 30-year-old company, and we're known for a lot of our creative products, such as Media Composer, or Newscutter, or iNews, or Pro Tools. And they're all still very much part of our portfolio, but they're all now connected to our platform, and that's really what we're now known for, which is what I'm showing here, which is Media Central. And what Media Central does is that it enables users, irrespective of their role in the company, to perform key tasks, to contribute, and to tell their part of the story. And the platform, it can deliver a unified view into all of a company's media, wherever it is. And of course, it can sit on-premise in the traditional way. It can sit fully in the cloud, such as our Pro Tools cloud collaboration, or it can be a hybrid cloud, which is what a lot of the broadcasters are looking to adopt. So if we look a little bit at some of the trends and the market's dynamics, this is courtesy of a survey by a company called Divoncroft, the big broadcast survey. I'm sure a lot of you know it. And if you look at it, cloud and virtualization, they keep climbing up the chart. And right now it's at number 4, or last year's at number 4, just behind multi-platform distribution, IP, and 4K or UHD production. And those top 3, those are all technology trends which are now considered standard in the broadcast environment. And cloud adoption, as we all know, is growing pretty steadily from what has been quite a conservative uptake at the very beginning. And certainly still, a number of the biggest media companies in the world, they're not ready yet to move any of their assets to the public cloud anytime soon. But we at Avid have architected our solution to be cloud ready. So as our customers make the move to the cloud, we're already there with them, working with them as a trusted partner. And some of the biggest names in the industry are now moving to the cloud for a lot of their production. So Netflix, we all know, they're one of our largest customers in the US. I think a few of you will probably know that they're actually responsible as one company for more than 50% of all of the cloud traffic on the internet due to their streaming service. And what they're doing is they're starting to see huge subscriber growth where international subscriptions for Netflix is actually now starting to outpace the domestic US. And they're focused on some of the key growth markets such as India, where they're targeting 100 million subscribers. And they're focused on also increasing their non-US content production with 80 new commissions for 2018 already scheduled. So Netflix is a media juggernaut, right, that is just going to keep getting bigger and is going to keep using the cloud and demanding more from the cloud. I think we've all read that they're going to be spending approximately $5 billion this year in originated Netflix content production. All of that $5 billion is going to be consumed over the cloud. So I'd just like to ask a quick question, and I hope everybody who's from Avid will put their hand up, but who here has heard of the Avid Customer Association? Okay, that's a few hands, perhaps not quite as many as I was hoping, so I'm disappointed. But that's fine. So the Avid Customer Association is a community of about 10,000 industry professionals. It's a very expensive community. I'm kidding, it's actually free to join. Every year we have an annual thought leadership event. It's called Avid Connect. It happens just before NAB. This year it's the 6th to the 8th of April. But last year at this event, we asked our customer association to take a vote on the key technology decisions and the roadmap investments they wanted us to make. And our customer voice, it really matters. It matters to us. So we asked them, why does the cloud matter to you? And a number of answers, but largely around efficiency, about reducing their operating expenditure, the ability to launch new services at a lower cost, new workflows, also an element of try before you buy as you look at some of the new SaaS models that the cloud can enable. So we dug into that a little bit deeper, and we asked our customer community, well, what are the pain points that you're trying to solve with cloud? And what we basically heard was, whether you're a large or a small media company, you're typically trying to manage this balancing act between how do you look after and manage your heritage audience, but how do you also attract the newer, often younger, digital subscriber? And they're two very different sides of the equation. And to be able to do that effectively, it's two very different things. And so the cloud was seen as being a very effective way to improve the operating cost structure. And when we talked to our customers more, they actually said, well, for us, it's a much better alternative to drive efficiency than it is to cut staff. That's why the cloud matters so much to them. And obviously news production and consumption, they're changing. Audiences are changing the way they access the news, and therefore newsrooms, media companies just like Al Jazeera, have had to follow suit and change the way that they make and break the news as well. So we all know that news is always a 24-hour business, and broadcasters, they do face tremendous pressure to move content from the source to the consumer faster than ever before in a more meaningful and a more personalized way. And the Media Central platform, it provides the tool specifically around that news production. And as I've said, it can be on-premise, it can be fully in the cloud, or it can operate in a hybrid environment. And the benefits of moving to the cloud, as we'll see, are huge. The main one, of course, is it allows companies to transform their operating model, and they can virtualize not just the infrastructure, but also the teams that operate that infrastructure. So these can become, obviously, logical components that can be scaled up or down over time. But the real benefit to customers is that they can focus entirely on what makes them unique, and that's the story and how they choose to tell it. So customers that we speak to generally are pretty captivated by the promise of the cloud, but they're just starting the journey. And if we go back to the good old days, workloads were pretty predictable and they were pretty consistent. It was a linear capacity model. And as your capacity needs gradually increased, you would just add a little bit of extra capacity over time. Pretty easy, right? But we all know capacity certainly isn't linear, and the first part of the cloud journey for our customers is about thinking how they can shift as much as possible of their variable capacity into the cloud, because that allows you to handle these uncertain spikes in your needs for processing intensive jobs, such as rendering and transcoding, and things like OTT, web, and social media. They're intrinsically cloud native applications. So this is the first step in the journey, and many of our customers have actually started this. Now, the good news is that actually, as you start to converge your resources in the cloud, you can actually reduce your overall technology footprint. And that leads to the second phase, which is lowering your cost by centralizing and sharing your resources in the cloud. So there's no need to over-provision or to duplicate infrastructure or capacity. And then, of course, you can use this extra variable capacity that you've been able to create in the cloud to enhance the workflows with metadata. You can improve your content search. You can share media libraries. And, of course, disaster recovery can become a cloud service that's shared by multiple sites, and that can increase the resiliency that you need to run and protect your operation without, of course, doubling your cost. And I think over the next few years, I think news organizations could choose to move all of their fixed and variable capacity to the cloud. We'll talk a little bit more about that with Al Jazeera in a moment. But with industry standards converging also on IP, Avid is working quickly to see how we can put ingest and playout in the cloud too. Now, at the moment, generic cloud storage simply isn't performant enough to be able to operate a live newsroom or a live broadcaster, but we're working quickly with Microsoft to deliver our high-performance storage platform, which is Nexus, and how that can provide shared storage in the cloud over the next couple of years. So let's have a look at our cloud roadmap. So as I've said, our ambition is to really try and help transform the industry by delivering innovative cloud solutions. And Media Central, our platform, it was designed 5 years ago from the ground up to be cloud ready. It's ultimately our foundation for everything that we're going to do in the cloud. And of course, it benefits our customers, but it also benefits us and our partners. So for customers, it enables them to unite the content creation teams with those teams in the organization that distribute and ultimately monetize the content in a faster way, in a more efficient way, and more powerfully than ever before. So simply, our customers, users, they can log on from anywhere in a facility, remote, in Doha, somewhere else in the world, and they can choose the applications or products that they need for telling their part of the story, and then they can collaborate seamlessly with others to finish that story and publish it. Now, for us and our partners, it's a very efficient way to operate a technology business, because no longer do we have to worry about maintaining heavy and expensive code sets and databases across all of the individual products that we have. Our applications, they become lighter, our updates become easier and much quicker to deploy. And if we as a company can become more efficient in developing and rolling out technology, then we can lower the overall economic cost for everyone. And of course, it allows us to provide many new business models as well. So we have a number of initiatives. We're virtualizing all of our media applications, whether that's installed clients like Media Composer or Newscutter running over a virtual desktop, or it's the thin client apps such as Media Central inside our Cloud UX framework. We're virtualizing the platform itself, and we're evolving towards a pure microservices architecture. We're also building IP interfaces into the Avid products, including FastServe and Media Composer, so they can participate in cloud workflows over the standard IP networks. We're also investing in evolving the ways that our customers provision and deploy and manage our Avid solutions, as well as transitioning to a more flexible software license model. We're also learning about how the Avid solutions work in the cloud. We're working closely with Microsoft and also with a number of our large customers doing proof of concepts around the world. We're also evolving our storage platform, Nexus, to run with a tiered storage architecture that extends to nearline in the cloud with all the reliability and performance that are synonymous with the Nexus platform on-premise. As I talked about, we're also engaging with a number of clients around the world, including Al Jazeera, which I'll talk about just shortly, on some proof of concept projects to help define how it is our customers can benefit most from cloud technology and how they'll deploy it. So turning to Al Jazeera, so I've been at Avid, this is my 7th year, and we've worked with Al Jazeera many years before that as well. I think we all feel very proud to have such a great partner in Al Jazeera, and we enjoy, I think, a very strategic relationship together. And we're excited to help develop the next phase of that relationship and develop technology together that's going to enable Al Jazeera to create, distribute, and optimize media for its end-to-end news production infrastructure around the world. So our Media Central platform is deployed here. It went live in Doha at the end of 2016. And we're now collaborating to develop the cloud-based elements of the Avid Newsroom solution and helping Al Jazeera achieve its cloud strategy by running the Avid Newsroom and production applications on an Azure stack right now here in Doha, but ultimately in the future virtualized from anywhere. So that's going to enable the production of content at lower cost. It's going to drive greater collaboration across the Al Jazeera network, and it's also going to help Al Jazeera extend their audience reach. It's also going to allow us at Avid to pave the way for the first ever hybrid cloud deployment of our Media Central platform. And ultimately, I think it will help shape the future of newsrooms around the world. So it's very significant, the work that we're doing together, and we're thrilled to be part of it. So as we look to the future, the cloud for us is not just about Avid software running in the cloud. It's a big part of it, but it's not all it's about. It's also about tapping into the power of scalable cloud computing and, as we've heard earlier and yesterday, artificial intelligence and machine learning, because that can enrich content. It can make it more searchable with emotion detection, facial recognition, detecting objects, and things like phonetic search. So we've been hard at work integrating the Media Central platform with the media services that are available in Microsoft's Azure product. We're also able to build these components into our enterprise agreements that we negotiate with our customers and partners around the world, and also offer cloud capability as part of a SaaS model from Avid. So it's an exciting future. We are very keen to help all of our customers around the world navigate this journey as they transition themselves and transform themselves, really, from being traditional on-premise media companies to the exciting connected world of the future. And so for us, really, and our customers, we do feel that the sky is absolutely the limit. And I'm going to leave the last word to our President and CEO, Jeff Rosica.
I only wish I could be in Doha with all our friends and colleagues, but you're in good hands with Tom Cordiner and all the Avid team that's there, and of course, our host, Al Jazeera. To Mohammed and all the team at Al Jazeera, congratulations on your 2nd annual summit. I know how important events like this are, and we at Avid are proud to be a part of it. It's so important to bring the industry together, to exchange ideas, to exchange views, and to talk about where the future is going. So again, congratulations. As you just heard Tom talk about, Avid is very committed to help broadcasters and media companies take their journey to the cloud. You know, a couple years ago, Al Jazeera came to us with a big, bold vision of how they wanted to take their newsrooms around the world to the cloud and to create a much more collaborative news environment. Today, Al Jazeera is a great example of how broadcasters and media companies are innovating using the latest technologies to change the way they do business and the way they get to their viewers around the world. You know, it's an exciting time in our industry. There's a lot of challenges, but there also stands a lot of opportunity. We at Avid are really excited to continue the dialogue and how we can help the industry move forward. Until then, I wish you all the best.
Great. So thank you very much, everybody.